Oke, selamat malam semuanya. Thank you udah gabung di acara malam ini ya. Kita malam mingguan tumben-tumbenan sama Extalia. Ini terima kasih juga hari ini spesial sekali kepada Pak Ahmad Saifuddin Mutaki, Ketua Ikatan Arsitek Indonesia dari Daerah Istimewa Yogyakarta, gitu, yang berkenan hadir dan nanti akan memberikan sambutan gitu di depan. Also, thank you very much, arigatou gozaimasu, Tsubasa-san, for coming today and become the speaker. Jadi sekali lagi selamat malam buat Pak Uut, for Tsubasa, and also for everybody ya, untuk semuanya. Sekali lagi thank you for joining us today. Hari ini untuk informasi aja, acaranya akan kita gunakan dua bahasa ya, jadi bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris. Jadi nanti Tsubasa-san akan menyampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris. Nanti sedikit-sedikit dari saya akan bantu translate gitu buat teman-teman yang mungkin karena nanti bahasanya mungkin kita nggak tahu juga yang akan dipakai sama Tsubasa-san apakah terlalu complicated atau enggak gitu. Nanti kita yang penting kalau misalnya teman-teman ada yang kurang jelas atau pengen tanya sesuatu, mumpung ada orang Jepangnya langsung nih gitu ya. Nanti bisa di akhir kita ada sesi tanya jawab. Kalau misalnya mau tanyanya dalam bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa juga, nanti akan saya bantu buat nge-translate-nya. Okay, so I think now it's time to begin this event. So hari ini spesial ya, the day is very special because we will discuss about Japanese house, but based on anime and manga gitu. Jadi sesuai apa yang biasa kita temui di anime dan juga komik Jepang ya atau manga gitu. Nah, sebelumnya saya ingin menginformasikan sedikit aja sih bahwa acara kali ini powered by Extalia Hobbies. Nah, Extalia Hobbies itu adalah satu toko retail dan juga wholesale di base-nya ada di Jogja. Jadi kita menawarkan barang-barang seperti action figure, clothing, merchandise, dan gunpla ya. Jadi robot yang bisa dirangkai gitu. Jadi semua barangnya original. Kalau teman-teman misalnya pengen nih suka yang seperti ini, bisa coba kunjungin di website kita www.extaliatoys.com atau Instagramnya ya di @extalia_hobbies gitu. Kita juga beberapa minggu ini lagi ada promo terus, jadi cek aja deh kayak gitu. Nah, Extalia juga lagi ngadain meme competition nih, jadi teman-teman yang kira-kira minat, suka bikin meme, bisa ikutan nih, karena hadiahnya lumayan ya. Ini Nendoroid Senggo Muramasa dari Good Smile Company. Kalau beli harganya ya sekitar 600 sampai 650 ribu nih, jadi lumayan ya, siapa tahu teman-teman bisa menang dan dapetin action figure ini gitu. Nah, juga Extalia sedang buka lowongan, jadi bagi teman-teman yang domisilinya ada di Jogja dan sekitarnya, kalau mau coba silahkan aja daftar hari ini gitu. Ini deadline-nya sampai tanggal 22 Oktober 2021. Kalau teman-teman mau dapat info lebih lanjut, bisa langsung ke extaliatoys.com atau ke Instagram kita ya. Juga aku mau kasih info sedikit, jadi minggu depan kita akan ada sesi spesial juga, ini mengundang seorang arsitek muda yang milenial, yang talented gitu ya, dia bekerja di Jepang nih. Nah, dia nggak akan cerita tentang sebagai arsiteknya aja, tapi dia juga bakalan share gimana sih environment-nya buat kerja di Jepang, seberapa keras, atau ternyata malah lebih gampang nih daripada kerja di Indonesia. Jadi sesi ini juga terbuka buat teman-teman yang mungkin non-arsitek, juga boleh untuk bergabung dan dengerin nih, Mbak Fani Atmanti akan menceritakanlah pengalaman-pengalamannya dia selama kerja di Jepang. Jadi jangan lupa untuk daftar, ini teman-teman bisa langsung daftar di bit.ly/extaliafani atau scan QR code-nya, atau kalau teman-teman kelewatan ini nanti, teman-teman bisa langsung ke Extalia Hobbies ya, bisa ke Instagramnya juga. Jadi nanti teman-teman tinggal scan QR-nya aja, isi formnya, nanti linknya bisa dikirim di email. Nah sebelumnya aku juga mau kasih tahu bahwa hari ini live ini juga tidak hanya di Zoom, tapi kita live di YouTube-nya Extalia Hobbies. Jadi teman-teman yang nanti kira-kira mau ada yang ketinggalan atau apa gitu ya, nanti mau nonton lagi, bisa langsung ke YouTube-nya Extalia Hobbies gitu. Jadi tenang aja. Oke, nggak usah lama-lama, mungkin saya akan mengundang Pak Ahmad Saifuddin Mutaki, yang kebetulan juga seorang kandidat dari calon ketua umum ya Nasional Ikatan Arsitek Indonesia ya tingkat nasional. Tentu Pak Uut juga banyak pesan-pesan nih buat teman-teman yang ada di sini karena kebanyakan anak muda nih gitu, dan saya yakin juga banyak dari teman-teman yang di sini juga seorang arsitek muda gitu. Nah mungkin Pak Uut bisa memberikan kesan dan pesan seperti apa seperti itu. Oke, baik, saya serahkan ke Pak Uut. Terima kasih.
Oke, thank you. Tech sound,
Yes.
Desta, okay?
Oke, Pak Uut.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction, me, Desta. Konban, Pak. People around me calling me Uut. So, and tonight, it's nice to see you online, Tsubasa-san, and also everybody. This event is quite interesting since it's bring a new content for good, common, and architect. So, and Japanese anime is, well, as to its culture, have always been special topic, especially for young millennial and Gen Z. Especially nowadays when apps such as Netflix bring those even closer. As an architect, we may get interested in house design and to discuss about it through anime may show us the more about the culture, style, concept for time to time. So for architect, designing a house is not only about the visual, it is also about its function and durability. So I believe that a house design is successfully when the user are also happy and it can match with their daily life. So today I'm also excited to hear from Tsubasa-san about how the Japanese house design work well to Japanese people. And in addition, a message for all young architects, and I would like to deliver in bahasa. So sudah saatnya arsitek muda berkembang melintas dunia. Jika kalian masuk di Indonesia, tentu kalian akan harus berpartner dengan para arsitek muda Indonesia yang tentu sudah terregistrasi dan berlisensi. Dan kini di Indonesia sedang terjadi perubahan menuju ke keterbukaan yang equal, dan para arsitek muda bekerja sama saling menguatkan dan membangun lingkungan binaan yang bermartabat tentunya. Nah, Ikatan Arsitek Indonesia akan menjadi kekuatan besar dikarenakan sinergitas kebersamaan tentu para pemangku kepentingan. Para anggotanya akan berkembang menjadi arsitek yang bermartabat, bertumbuh menjadi entrepreneur yang melayani jasa konstruksi, dan bisa jadi sebagian yang lain menjadi penyelenggara bangunan gedung yang handal. Oleh karena itu, para arsitek muda jangan lupa kalian berpartisipasi di dalam banyak kegiatan Ikatan Arsitek Indonesia. Ya, misal di Jogja sekarang nih sedang ada 2 sayembara besar. Nah, bukan hanya itu, banyak hal yang bisa didapatkan dan kalian akan punya kesempatan besar juga untuk mengembangkan pengetahuan dan yang paling penting ada relasi dengan orang lain. Dan tidak hanya di Indonesia, tetapi juga secara internasional. Gitu Desta, terima kasih. Salam arsitek merdeka. Thank you.
Merdeka, Pak. Thank you. Terima kasih Pak Uut atas sambutannya. Thank you so much. Oke, teman-teman, luar biasa sekali hari ini, spesial banget ya, seorang ketua arsitek Indonesia di chapter daerah istimewa Yogyakarta bisa memberikan sambutan gitu. Ini luar biasa banget sih. So thank you so much again, and it's very amazing and grateful to have Pak Uut here and also Tsubasa Sang. Okay, so I think we can continue with this event, and I think I will mostly talk about. I will continue going forward with the English language because I think it's easier for Tsubasa. But don't worry, again, if you don't understand maybe what Tsubasa said, maybe Tsubasa will like stop a bit and then I will translate into Bahasa so that everybody can still learn together and discuss together with us today. Yeah. Okay, I think it's the time to start. Okay, sorry. Okay, just a bit thing about today's content, yeah. So for the first part, we will introduce about the museum in Japan. So Tsubasa-san will introduce that, the timeline of anime, and then feature of the Japanese house, learn from the famous anime or manga, and then what is the nationally famous anime and how they show their houses, and then the modern house in the anime or manga, and then at the end, we'll know what elements can be applied to Indonesia. So I think this is going to be so exciting. Okay. Sebentar ya. I think I need to change a bit. I think I will introduce first Tsubasa ya. So I think you better explain the museum, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Tsubasa-san. I will introduce about Tsubasa-san a bit. So Nakanishi Tsubasa-san wa Nihon Sushin desu. Kare wa Nihon de wa kenchiku o manabi, Singapore de wa tozu design o manabimashita. Kare wa internship ya kenkyū katsudo nado oku no keikei o shite imasu. Kenchiku dake de naku, toshi kaihatsu, machi tsukuri, construction kari ni tsuite chisuki o motte imasu. Just a bit introduction, but okay, in bahasa ya. Sekarang aku akan ngenalin Tsubasa-san in bahasa Indonesia. Jadi Tsubasa-san ini dari Jepang ya, udah jelas dari namanya ya. Dan dia belajar arsitektur di Jepang dan juga urban design, jadi perancangan kota di National University of Singapore. Dia banyak pengalaman juga di penelitian dan juga magang di beberapa perusahaan ya. Perusahaannya nggak cuma lokal tapi juga internasional. Dia juga memiliki pengetahuan tidak hanya tentang arsitektur, tapi tentang pengembangan kota dan juga manajemen konstruksi kota. Jadi hari ini spesial banget nih. Dan terima kasih sekali lagi buat 71 peserta, 70 peserta lah minus saya, yang hari ini udah gabung nih. Nggak nyangka ya, ternyata banyak yang nggak malam mingguan, mungkin nonton Netflix atau keluar, sekarang kan belum boleh ya, masih COVID gitu. Tapi thank you banget kalian udah meluangkan waktu buat join pada acara hari ini. Okay, I think Tsubasa, I think we can start now and then
Okay.
So I will pass the time to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the participating this amazing and interesting webinar despite today's weekend. And also Mr. Yudu and Yudu. And this I'm sincerely honored to be invited to be this such an amazing webinar today. So as Desta introduced to everyone, today's content is so much. So I just want to quickly brief. I just want to explain briefly, because if I talk long, maybe it's gonna be so boring. I think the interaction and the discussion must be necessary, and I think that we should discuss. So we move on to the topic. So before I move on to the main topic, I just want to introduce the amazing place in Japan, so which is the Edo Tokyo Open Air Architecture Museum. It has so many traditional architectures and building in Japan from the past to the present, following the the timeline in the history of Japan. So I know because of COVID, it's really hard to go the place, but I highly recommend you to visit this place after the COVID. Yeah. Next.
Jadi sedikit mungkin dalam bahasa Indonesia ya. Jadi Tsubasa-san merekomendasikan teman-teman nanti setelah COVID bisa datang ke Jepang dan ke Tokyo, ke Edo Tokyo Open Air Architectural Museum, karena ini seperti TMII gitu ya. Jadi ada rumah-rumah Jepang dari zaman yang lama sampai ke yang sekarang itu. Jadi kita bisa ngerasain sendiri prosesnya dan rasanya di dalam rumahnya itu seperti apa gitu.
Okay. So the place has the kind of the traditional Japanese old housing, not only the the ancient the past, but also the the modern housing. So you can see lots of type of building in there. So that's why I highly recommend you. So next page. Yeah, still there are so many buildings as you can see. So please go there. So now I just want to touch the anime and manga, which is this main topic. So actually, as you know, in Japan, there's so many anime and manga, which is so famous all over the world. So at first, I want to check the timeline of which animes, which the period the anime is focusing. So in the early Japan, which is 910, we had like the Hikaru no Go and Shaman King. This is kind of like the Nara and the Heian period. And also the Inuyasha's and Nobunaga concert is talking about the Muromachi period and Azuchi Momoyama period, which is 1338 to the 1603. And after that, we still have the other anime, which is Nurarihyon no Mako and Samurai Champo. So which is about the Edo period. Next.
Mungkin sedikit in bahasa. Jadi tadi Tsubasa-san memulai ini ya, kita hari ini dengan menjelaskan dulu. Jadi di Jepang itu ada periode-periodenya gitu. Jadi dari early Japan, lalu ada Nara dan Heian period. Kalau teman-teman pernah nonton Hikaru no Go dan Shaman King, jadi yang topi yang pakai baju ini ya Fujiwara Sai itu itu model-model Heian gitu. Terus kalau yang di tengah ada Inuyasha dan Nobunaga Konsato, ini di zamannya Muromachi dan Azuchi Momoyama ya. And I think it's also Sengoku period, right? Sengoku Jidai.
Yes, the end of the Muromachi and Azuchi Momoyama. No. Azuchi Momoyama period is kind of like the Sengoku period, which is about like we fight a lot in that area. So we call
like
it
a lot of war.
Yeah.
Oke, jadi zaman perang guys. Jadi kalau mungkin kayak Sengoku Basara dan lain sebagainya, Token Ranbu mungkin ya. Jadi zaman-zaman perang. Lalu yang ketiga itu di sini yang zaman Edo ya. Ini udah pasti sangat common sekali di telinga kita nih zaman Edo. Nah, contohnya animenya yang ada di sini nih, Nurarihyo no Mago dan Samurai Champloo. Oke.
Yep. Next is talking about the Meiji period from the 1968 to the 1912. And also the next period is the early Showa period. As you know, because these days lots of people have so much interest in the Kimetsu no Yaiba. So the Kimetsu no Yaiba is talking about early Showa period. And after that, we had the post-war period. And at that time, we had so famous national animes, which is the Zaisan, Shinchan. The official name is Crayon Shinchan, and the second one is the Dramon. So today, I want to talk about that kind of anime, focusing on the Japanese housing.
Okay. in bahasa a bit. Jadi di Meiji period teman-teman yang pasti tahu nih ya, Rurouni Kenshin Samurai X di Indonesia juga dulu diputar dan ramai banget. Terus yang sekarang lagi ramai juga adalah Kimetsu no Yaiba atau Demon Slayer. Ini lagi ramai banget. Jadi kalau untuk informasi aja, ini zamannya Taisho dan early Showa period. Dan tadi Tsubasa-san bilang, jadi untuk anime yang berlatar belakang di post-war period, ya habis tahun 1945, itu ada Sazae-san. Jadi di Jepang sangat terkenal. Dan juga ada Crayon Shinchan dan juga Doraemon. Jadi Tsubasa hari ini akan fokus ke membicarakan lebih ke rumahnya ya, gitu. Rumah yang ada di anime-anime ini, gitu.
So please click the 2 times. Yeah. So today, as I say, I would like to talk about the Japanese housing in terms from the view of the anime and manga. So please remember that these photos, because I want to talk about this kind of the photos later. So please remember these photos.
Oh, jadi ini ada beberapa foto yang dikasih nih sama Tsubasa-san ya, dari anime-anime yang mungkin kita udah ngeh banget gitu ya, udah tahu nih anime apa. Nah, tolong diingat-ingat nih ada nama-namanya nih ya, jadi bentuk-bentuknya ini namanya mungkin seperti ini kan, nanti Tsubasa-san akan menjelaskan lebih lanjut nih, apa sih, dan ini elemen apa yang ada di rumah Jepang sebenarnya, gitu.
Yeah, next is also same. Yeah, please remember these kind of photos. Yeah. Next,
Okay.
please. Yeah. So finally, let's move on to today's main topic again. First, I want to explain the the feature of the Japanese house, because the traditional Japanese house have the unique architecture and interior features that are considered an important part of Japanese history and cultures. So many people still find that the Japanese culture and history is so attractive. So some of the features still have been introduced, and also being incorporated into the modern houses in Japan. So basically, the housing is considered as the temporary in Japan, and has been rebuilt about every 12 years. And as you know, there are many constructed of the natural materials such as wood and paper, and the rice straws. Yeah.
Oke, a bit in bahasa. Jadi intinya di rumah tradisional Jepang itu ada fitur-fitur gitu ya guys. Jadi ada fitur-fitur penting yang nanti bakal dijelasin sama Tsubasa-san. Tapi Tsubasa bilang sebenarnya di rumah Jepang itu tradisional, apalagi ya di Jepang, rumah itu dianggap temporary gitu. Jadi setiap 12 tahun itu sebetulnya harus direkonstruk kayak gitu kalau di Jepang. Nah, kita akan lihat seperti apa. Nah, jadi Tsubasa-san juga sempat bilang bahwa karena itu dianggap temporary, maka bahan-bahan material yang digunakan juga pada temporary nih, seperti tadi ada kayu, ada paper gitu ya, and the other things. Okay, next is it?
Yep, please. So now I will explain lots of features in Japanese house one by one. So let's start from the upper left. So first is the shoji. Shoji is kind of like this sliding windows and doors made of the translucent papers inside a wooden frame. They prevent people from seeing through, but they brighten the room by allowing light to pass through. Since the shoji is the porous, so it also helps reduce airflow and humidity. In modern Japanese style houses, it is often installed on the door between the glass plate. By creating the diffuse light and shadow, it helps to give the Japanese house personality. So should I stop here? And
yeah, maybe I will explain a bit.
Okay.
Jadi shoji ini sebetulnya adalah pintu geser ya, the sliding door ya, right? Jadi pintu gesernya Jepang ini yang tradisional seperti ini yang teman-teman tahu itu juga terbuat dari translucent kertas yang tembus pandang, tapi nggak tembus pandang banget ya guys. Nah ini juga gunanya nggak cuman untuk maksudnya menyekat aja, tapi juga tadi ya supaya cahayanya masih bisa nembus dan masuk dan lain sebagainya. Dan about the humidity as well, right?
Yep.
So please.
Okay. So I talked the shoji. So next I want to talk about the husuma. The husuma is also the kind of sliding door. The shoji and husuma, the shoji and husumas are always included in old Japanese houses. As I said earlier, shoji used translucent papers for the wooden frame, so the light can be seen through. But husuma papers is not transparent, so light cannot be seen through. So in the most houses, they are usually pure white color, but in the shrines and temples, they are often use the white the painted color. Yep.
Jadi fusuma ini sebenarnya mirip dengan shoji ya guys, cuma bedanya kalau di shoji ini kan pakai papernya plain gitu, nggak ada gambarnya. Tapi kalau yang di fusuma ini akan ada kayak itu yang misalnya ada gambar naganya atau ada pokoknya ada paintingnya gitu. Nah, terus kalau fusuma ini kebanyakan memang digunakan di shrine gitu ya, kayak temple, tempat berdoa gitulah, mungkin lebih tinggi lah derajatnya. Kalau rumah biasa biasanya pakai yang biasa aja, yang pakai shoji itu tadi gitu.
Okay, the next is the lama. So the lama is the kind of like the panel above the shoji screens and the sliding doors. And the lama is the design to allow light to enter the room. So they have like the gorgeous wood carving design depending on the times and also the regional characteristic.
Oke. Jadi ranma ini sebetulnya panel yang ada di atasnya si pintu tadi, shoji atau kusuma ya. So si ranma sendiri itu juga kadang ada juga kayak hiasan-hiasannya kayak yang teman-teman lihat itu ya di atas. Tapi itu juga tergantung dari mungkin banyak hal ya gitu, dan juga tergantung pada masanya kayak gitu. Jadi bukan ranma yakupasen to.
Okay, let's move to next. Next is the wagoya. So wagoya is one of the Japanese building technique. So Japanese carpenters developed advanced joining techniques in the building, sometimes using the nail to build large building on the drawing. This is not limited to housing, but it's also used in the temple and shrines. As I said, wagoya is the structure system of the traditional Japanese small buildings like the hut and like the cabin. So it mainly consists of the boundaries and beams. The boundaries support the load received from the roof and transmit it to the beams.
Oke. Jadi wagoya ini sebenarnya lebih ke tekniknya ya. Jadi Japanese building techniques gitu. Jadi gimana orang tukang kayunya Jepang itu develop kayak misalnya sambungan-sambungan kayu ya, yang advance gitu. Jadi nggak cuma sederhana aja. Dan ini mereka emang gunakan secara maksimal di bangunan-bangunan tradisional mereka kayak gitu. Jadi itu mungkin ada termasuk ada kolomnya, ada baloknya gitu. Dan gimana cara nyatuin misalnya balok sama balok atau balok sama kolom ketemunya kayak gimana, dan ya itu tekniknya yang kita namain adalah wagoya.
Yeah. So the next is the engawa. Okay. The engawa is the outer corridor that surround traditional Japanese house. It was traditionally used as like the partition space between the dedicated shoji and outer shutters. It is usually made of the wood or bamboo and serves to connect the inside and outside of the house. So shoes can be placed on the traditional stone step, as you can see on the center of the photo. During the summer, it's a place to sit on the porch, which is engawa. So you can do the relax, surround it with the people and enjoy the nature, and even the socialize with your family and your friends. So this can be said to be like the major, like the characteristic and the features of the Japanese housing.
Jadi Enggawa ini seperti koridor di bagian luar gitu ya teman-teman. Jadi memisahkan antara bagian dalam dan bagian luarnya. Jadi kalau teman-teman lihat ini ada shoji ya, tadi yang pintu gesernya. Terus kemudian di sini itu bisa terbuat dari bambu ataupun kayu. Nah, terus jadi di sini juga kita lihat ada batu gitu ya. Jadi kalau tadi Tsubasa bilang kalau summer gitu, musim panas gitu, ini juga bisa jadi tempat duduk-duduk gitu. Mungkin teman-teman juga udah cukup familiar dengan space di ini ya gitu. Okay.
Yeah, the next is tokonoma. So tokonoma is this is the alcove in the Japanese style room, and sometimes it's gonna be kind of like the guest room. So it is a place of honor where the hanging scroll base of the arranged flowers or other like the ornament displayed. So since the room with the tokonoma are more defined and have like the sophisticated atmosphere, so they generally serve as the room where the guests are entertained. So when people gather together in the room to attend a party, the order of the precedence is determined. The seat close to the tokonoma is regarded as the top seat or the seat of the owner, and the further seat is always far away from the the main doors. The lower it is, and the host occupies the seat of the owner when receiving the visitors, unless the visitor has the higher social standing than the host. We have like this kind of the hierarchy in the for the setting. Yeah.
Ya, jadi tokonoma nih kalau teman-teman lihat ya, mungkin di beberapa film atau anime kan kita lihat nih ada area yang kayak gini. Jadi ini sebenarnya tempat yang kayak khusus gitu ya di Japanese style room, dan biasanya ada sebagai ruang tamu gitu. Nah, jadi di situ juga bisa ditaruh kayak lukisan, ada vas gitu-gitu. Nah, orang yang duduk di dekat area ini itu adalah kayak yang punya gitu. Jadi Tsubasa tadi bilang ada hierarkinya dan sebagainya. Jadi yang duduk di situ biasanya adalah orang yang punya, yang higher social in the level lah ya, kind of things gitu. Atau juga hostnya kayak gitu. Oke. Next.
Next. The next is amado. Amados is kind of like the door, but amado protect the homes and apartment for the security, privacy, and also especially in Japan, that we have so many typhoons in the year, so it's suitable for like the typhoon. Yeah.
Jadi amado ini juga pintu sebetulnya, tapi mungkin lebih untuk melindungi dari hal-hal yang luar ya. Jadi untuk security. Tadi dibilang ada typhoon gitu di Jepang juga kan banyak. Ya. Jadi amado ini salah satunya ya untuk melindungi area dalam supaya tadi dari hal-hal yang dari luar tadi kayak gitu.
Yeah. And the next is tatami. As you may know, so tatami is the mat used as the the floor of the traditional Japanese style room. So this is common staple of the today's Japanese homes, traditionally made of the rice straw, which is like the natural resource, and the lash on the edge of the cross. The floor of the traditional Japanese house is in the olden days were often completely covered with the tatami mat. But now it is more common to find at least one tatami room in the house, because many people are paying attention to the soft and present scent that accompanies them. So it is expected that you will take off your shoes before walking on these traditional mud floors. So I'm staying in Singapore, but I still cannot enter my room without taking off the shoes. So I still Yeah.
It's so interesting ya. Jadi teman-teman mungkin udah cukup familiar dengan tatami. Nah, tatami ini tadi Sobat Usang bilang dari rice straw ya. Rice straw and rush on the edge of the cloth. Oke. Jadi itu seperti dianyam gitu guys sebenarnya ya. Nah, tatami sendiri itu kalau di zaman dulu, rumah-rumah dulu itu sangat biasa digunakan hampir di semua ruangan. Cuman kalau yang sekarang enggak ya, jadi at least ada satu ruangan sih kalau rumah-rumah Jepang sekarang masih pakai tatami. Karena di tatami itu ada maksud supaya pada saat kita tuh mau masuk ke ruangan itu kayak lepas sepatu kayak gitu. Nah tadi Sobat Sang bilang dia sebagai orang Jepang yang tinggal di Singapura, dia bahkan di Singapura nggak ada nih yang model-model ruangan tatami, tapi dia kayak masih punya kebiasaan kalau masuk kamar ya sepatunya udah langsung ganti gitu. Beda sama kita ya, kalau kita langsung nyeker aja nggak pakai sepatu gitu.
Thank you. The next is a zabuton. That is the thing, like the kind of cushion used when sitting on the tatami floor, as I say. So the function is the same as kind of like the chair. So nowadays it is mainly placed on the chair, but people still sit in the zabuton in the small game. So like the photo. And if you, for example, like if you dissatisfied with the result and the judgment of the game, you can throw it into the small ring. So this is, you know, the kind of Japanese culture. So if you have chance to watch the video or, you know, the game on some like the social media, maybe it's gonna be so interesting scene. Yeah.
Oke, menarik banget nih guys. Jadi namanya sabutong itu sebenarnya adalah bantalnya ya. Kalau teman-teman lihat di rumah Jepang yang pakai tatami, terus kan mereka duduknya memang lesehan, tapi kan mereka pasti pakai kayak bantal gitu. Nah itu disebutnya sabutong. Dan sabutong ini masih banyak digunakan pada saat kalau misalnya game-game juga sumo game gitu ya, kayak di sini. Nah tadi katanya Tsubasa, kalau misalnya kalian nonton terus yang kalian jagoin kalah nih, kalian boleh ngelempar nih bantal ke area ringnya gitu. Dan ini salah satu part dari Japanese culture, cukup menarik sih.
Yes. Let's move on to the next. Next is Genkan. Genkan is a traditional Japanese entrance. So Genkan entrance is usually located in the house, right in front of the door. So Genkan is a place to put on your shoes before walking in the house. It is sunk below the floor of the rest of the building to prevent dirty, like, you know, dirt like the front door. It is found in the virtually every Japanese housing, but it's also found in like not only the house but also the hotel, school, or like office, sometimes office and other like the other facilities. Yeah.
Oke, jadi kalau teman-teman tahu nih, biasanya kalau kayak di film-film Jepang gitu ya, biasanya kalau orang masuk rumah tuh ada area masuknya yang disebut dengan Genkan. Dan di situ kayak orang harus lepas sepatu dan sebagainya. Nah, tadi menurut Tsubasa di rumah-rumah, nggak cuma di rumah-rumah ya, kalau di Jepang itu hampir di tempat-tempat kayak misalnya hotel dan lain sebagainya itu masih memiliki area yang namanya Genkan ini. Sebenarnya ini menarik karena di Indonesia kita nggak punya ya kayak gini.
Okay, the next is chabudai. Chabudai is the short-legged table that sit on the floor. It is often used for the tatami floor mainly, but of course it is also used for the hard floor. So this is comfortable to use with zabuton. Yeah.
Oke, jadi cabudai, right?
Yeah.
Ini jadi short leg table gitu ya. Jadi meja yang pendek yang kayak teman-teman lihat di sini. Nah, ini biasanya ditaruhnya juga di area yang dengan tatami kayak gitu. Nah, dan juga orangnya biasanya duduk dengan si bantal sabutong tadi gitu. Jadi udah kayak satu paket nih.
Yes. So the last one is kotatsu. Kotatsu is also the Japanese traditional heating table covered with kind of blanket. So in many families, the kotatsu tables is in the high demand in the winter season. So the heater is attached to the underside of the table. So people naturally gather around the kotatsu. So once you put your feet in the kotatsu, it will be super hard for you to get out because it's super comfortable. However, the popularity of the kotatsu is declining because of the central heating system, and also the aircon, or more like the cutting edge technologies. Yeah.
Oke, jadi ini nih kotatsu nih sebenarnya mungkin teman-teman yang nonton anime juga pada familiar ya. Jadi kalau ada di ruang keluarga gitu, terus ada meja yang pendek tadi cabudai tadi, terus itu ada meja ini dan ada selimutnya. Nah, selimutnya ini yang namanya dengan kotatsu. Jadi biasanya nanti kakinya dimasukin situ atau udah sekalian tidur di situ. Dan biasanya dipakai pada saat musim dingin. Tapi sekarang akhir-akhir ini di Jepang sudah mulai berkurang nih popularitasnya karena adanya teknologi-teknologi baru kayak misalnya heater. Jadi orang udah nggak usah harus pakai selimut terus gitu ya. Mereka nyalain heater itu udah agak anget kayak gitu. Oke, next is it?
Yeah, please. So sorry for explaining so long, but please allow me to introduce a little bit more. So the next is kamidana. So I want to explain briefly because it's going to be so boring presentation. So kamidana is a small shrines used to remind people who are no longer in the Japanese house. So please understand what I mean. I don't see much now in the Japanese house, but this is also the Japanese culture.
Jadi ini sebenarnya kayak altar gitu ya guys, altar kecil untuk memperingati leluhur atau siapapun anggota keluarga yang tinggal di situ sebelumnya, tapi sudah nggak ada kayak gitu. Tapi sekarang kata Tsubasa sudah nggak banyak lihat nih dia. Gitu.
Yes. Next is ofuro. Ofuro is the Japanese words for the bath and bathroom. So the Japanese houses have the separated toilet and bathrooms. The bathroom itself consists of the washing area and the bath tub for the soaking. So there is also a small jogging room for the getting dress and undress. So the Japanese families generally use the same bath water and careful to clean and rinse the soap before entering the bathtub. So and the bathtub will not be drained until everyone take a bath. So and also wooden bathtub used to be the normal and norm and common, but these days now is the bathtub and the wooden bathtub replaced by high-tech unit and bathtub with the features such as heated seat, like the automatic system. So however, this is often seen if you go to like the hot spring area or town. Yeah.
Oke. Jadi ofuro mungkin teman-teman juga udah agak familiar ya. Jadi kalau orang Jepang tuh biasanya keluarga gitu ya, mandi bareng gitu ya. Ya biasanya cowok-cowok, cewek-cewek misalnya gitu. Dan mereka kayak sebelum masuk ke bathtub untuk istilahnya berendam. Jadi mereka kayak bersih-bersihin dulu di luar. Setelah itu baru mereka masuk ke air ini. Gitu. Jadi ofuro ini sebenarnya lebih ke kamar mandi gitulah ya, kamar mandi atau yang kalau sekarang kita nyebutnya ada bathtub. Tadi sempat Tsubasa bilang yang zaman sekarang kalau yang dari kayu kayak gini udah jarang lihat ya. Lihatnya mungkin di tempat-tempat yang memang kayak onsen gitu, yang pakai kayu gitulah tradisional. Tapi kalau rumah-rumah sudah pakai yang high tech gitu.
Yes. Next is irori. So irori is the kind of the heart has sunk in the floor without the in the floor. So it is usually located in the center of the living room of the old like the farmhouses. So irori is built in those rooms related to the dining, such as the kitchen and the and the chanoma, as I say, or living room, and also in addition, so to providing the warmth, it is placed where food can be cooked from the the pot suspended over the fire.
Oke, jadi irori ini sebenarnya biasanya kayak kalau zaman di rumah-rumah farmhouse gitu ya, maksudnya rumah-rumah orang Jepang yang zaman dulu-dulu itu di tengahnya itu di ruangannya ada yang namanya irori ini, jadi agak masuk gitu ke lantai, terus di situ ada kayak bukan kompor ya guys, kalau dulu mungkin manasinnya masih manual gitu ya, pakai kayu dan lain sebagainya. Terus kalau teman-teman yang biasa lihat, nanti atasnya ada kayak bambunya, terus dicantolin sesuatu, terus dipanasin, nah kayak gitu. Dan nanti keluarga atau orang-orang yang ada di situ akan ngelilingin itu. Jadi selain untuk juga masak, tapi juga untuk penghangat. Jadi ini kayak mungkin semacam pemersatu gitu ya, kalau di satu rumah kayak gitu.
Yes. Next is Sudare. Sudare is for the covering traditional windows made of the weft of the wood, bamboo, and other natural materials. It is usually used only mainly used in the spring and summer season. This allows the cool breeze to pass through, but it's effective in the blocking the sun, preventing the sun.
Oke, jadi sudare ini, oh sorry, are you continuing? Oke, so sudare ini jadi terbuat dari kayu atau bambu atau dari material-material lain yang dari alam gitulah ya. Biasanya dipakai pada saat musim semi ataupun musim panas. Jadi itu seperti biar ya sebenarnya seperti tirai gitu ya guys. Jadi tetap bisa masukin angin dari celah-celahnya, tapi juga nggak bikin itu silau banget gitu. Jadi bisa blocking cahaya matahari gitu.
Yeah. Last is the byobu. Just wanna explain quickly. Byobu is used to the partition room to protect the privacy. So it also has function as an art. So it was the essential in the old houses because the privacy wasn't designed, but it's not used much now. Yeah.
Oke, jadi byobu ini sebetulnya seperti partisi gitu ya, antar ruangan yang memproteksi juga privacy gitu. Jadi juga selain itu juga karena ada gambar-gambarnya, jadi fungsinya juga sebagai area seni gitu ya. Tapi sekarang udah nggak banyak dipakai nih. Next is.
Yeah, please go to the next slide. So even though I introduced lots of features, taking so long time. So, but we have other features as well. So just please allow me to explain more. First is the enclosed with the fence. In Japan, there are generally no sidewalk on the road in the residential areas. Therefore, gate and the fence installed as the boundaries between the public spaces such as road and the private land. So fence and the walls along the boundaries of the site create boundaries with the neighboring house and protect privacies. Concrete block common in both urban and rural areas, but some large houses, for example, like the Kyoto, have wooden fence on the top of the imposing the stone walls.
So maybe you can continue first, then I will.
Okay, right. Okay. And the second is the clay roof type and the deep eaves. In Japan, where it rains a lot, so as you know, the roof is also designed to allow a large amount of rainwater to drain. So if you have the deep eaves, you don't have to worry about the rain blowing in. And if you open the sliding door installed outside the house, you can take in the outside air. Third one is the emphasis on the sunlight and the scenery. Traditionally, Japanese houses are designed with the north-south direction in mind, with the main rooms facing the south and allowing the sunlight to enter throughout the day. The view from the windows is also indispensable elements, and it is the ideal if you can see the water side, such as mountains and rivers and sea. But in the reality, it may be garden in many cases in Japan. So, and also in Japan, the light is considered to be guaranteed light, whether it is the single family homes or an apartment complex. And fourth is to take care of the tree and wood, even if the wood used in the Japanese house, if wood used in the Japanese house is colored, it is not painted with the paint to hide the important grain. A single tree may be used as a roof beam, or unprocessed high-grade wood may be used between the alcove. And fifth is use the room for the multiple purpose. Stones which have been used as being for a long time, so can be folded and stored in the closet during the day. So one room can be used as living room, a bedroom, or dining room. So thanks to the flexible space and movable furnitures, the family can live comfortably even in the small houses in Japan. And last one is the connects the inside and outside as much as possible. The connecting with the outside nature is most important factor in the design of the Japanese houses. A sliding door and sliding windows that can be easily opened should be easily open. Also, these kind of doors and windows should be one of the the structures that can achieve this. Yeah.
Jadi ini briefly aja ya, in bahasa dicepatkan aja. Jadi ada 6 nih tadi teman-teman. Jadi ada enclosed with fence, itu maksudnya adalah pagar. Jadi di rumah-rumah Jepang itu juga pakai pagar. Nah, pagarnya ada yang dari kayu, ada yang dari batu gitu untuk privasi dan keamanan. Terus clear roof tile dan deep eaves itu lebih ke seperti mungkin kita sebutnya tritisan ya. Jadi kalau kita punya tritisan yang agak panjang, kita ada koridor dan sebagainya, kita buka pintu tuh masih oke. Jadi air nggak ambias kayak gitu. Nah, terus untuk emphasis on sunlight dan scenery gitu ya. Jadi rumah-rumah Jepang tuh juga sangat mentingin arah ya sebenarnya. Jadi arahnya hadap mana dan sebagainya. Jadi arahnya masih pikirannya adalah utara dan selatan gitu. Dan juga ada hubungannya dengan, jadi ruangan itu harus bisa melihat suatu pemandangan. Nah, kayak gitu. Dan mereka juga take care of tree and wood nih tadi. Jadi mereka sangat menghargai ya namanya wood, kayu ya. Walaupun beberapa di rumah Jepang itu kayunya udah agak dicat gitu, tapi tetap digunakan senatural mungkin. Dan use room for multiple purpose ini teman-teman mungkin sering lihat ya kayak di anime atau kayak Doraemon aja deh ya. Kalau malam kan kita buka futonnya deh, tempat tidurnya gitu. Tapi kalau siang dia lipat dan dimasukin ke lemari. Nah, jadi kayak satu ruang tuh bisa ada tempat, bisa untuk macam-macam gitu. Bisa tempat tidur, bisa tempat belajar, macam-macam. Yang terakhir adalah connect the inside and outside as much as possible tuh. Jadi tadi Tsubasa Sang bilang ya antara ruang yang di dalam dan ruang yang di luar ini harus bisa connect gitu. Jadi ada pintu yang bisa dibuka dan sebagainya, itu sangat penting gitu. Jadi salah satu elemen-elemen rumah yang ada di Jepang, terutama yang tradisional. Mungkin sampai sekarang sih. Okay, next is it?
Yes, please. So these pictures, these are the pictures of the features I just mentioned in the previous slide. So you can see, lots of features I talked in the previous video. So yeah, let's move on to the next. So I talked Tatami in the other slide, but I just want to explain a little bit about the Tatami, because this is very interesting Japanese cultures in housing. So as I say earlier, the Tatami is so unique culture, and the standard size of the tatami is 2 by 1. Actual size is around 900 centimeter by 1800 centimeter. There are some differences in the size depending on the region, and also there are also various ways to combine the tatami mat. So if you are interested in that, please research for it, because if I talk about everything about tatami, it will take a long time to explain it. So now I shouldn't do it. So please research after this webinar.
Jadi Shopee buat tatami ya. Jadi tatami ini kan Jepang banget gitu ya guys. Ini culture-nya Jepang gitu. Nah, tatami itu sebetulnya modular ya. Jadi modulnya tadi kalau Tsubasa bilang 900 kali 1800 cm. Ya, di situ juga ada tuh 880 kali ya kira-kira 1760 ya, 1800. Dan penataannya sebenarnya itu juga ada cara, ada terserah, ada maksudnya ada aturannya gitulah ya intinya. Nah, kalau teman-teman tadi tertarik nih pengen tahu lebih lanjut tentang tatami, Tsubasa menyarankan untuk teman-teman bisa riset nih gitu, karena banyak banget informasi mengenai tatami ini.
Yes. So so that it's move to the next. So I'd like to explain like this scene in which they actually use in the anime and manga using the photo I showed before. So you still remember the lifestyle photos. So this is the farmhouse. So there is a fireplace, danlo, as I say, as I mentioned earlier. So the building materials is also basically wood. Furthermore, natural materials are used for the roof. Like next, please.
Oke. Jadi sedikit aja ini yang kita tadi Tsubasa udah kasih lihat nih beberapa fotonya, dan ini ya dari anime Inuyasha. Jadi ada irori dan juga fireplace ini namanya danlo. Nah, jadi ini yang bisa kalian lihat ya, kalau di foto yang ada di museum tadi kayak gini, dan kalau di Inuyasha beneran nih, kan Inuyasha tadi area-area periode-periode zaman dulu ya, zaman perang tadi itu. Nah, ini mereka pakai cara masaknya kayak gini, dan rumahnya juga bentuknya kayak gini gitu.
And then the photo above is the taken from the Samurai X Kamiya Dojo. As you may know, so the building is surrounded by some of the fence, which is made by wood and stone. So you can also see that the roof used the tile roof. So the landscape of this old city and the cityscape really existed in Japan in the past.
Ya, jadi ini contohnya yang di Samurai X ya, Kamiya Dojo. Jadi lihat atapnya dan lain sebagainya, stylenya itu memang bahkan yang di kotanya ini ya, itu benar-benar yang di anime ini seperti yang memang ada di Jepang pada saat itu kayak gitu.
Yes, please quote. Yeah, Yeah, and this is the scene from the popular anime, Kimetsu no Yaiba. There is the porch, shoji screen used inside the building. And at some night, the light illuminates the city comfortably from inside the house. Even now, if you go to some area in Japan, for example, Kyoto, or some other, I don't know, I can't come off with other place, but if you go to some like a traditional area, you can see this kind of like the beautiful scenery in the night. Yes.
Jadi kalau teman-teman lihat itu ada lampunya yang sebenarnya itu di dalam, dan kalau teman-teman lihat dari scene-nya Kimetsu no Yaiba yang di kanan bawah itu kan lampunya penerangannya jadi dari dalam. Nah, karena tadi pada banyak istilahnya porus gitu ya, banyak lubangnya dan transparan dan sebagainya, jadi iluminasinya dari lampu itu tuh sampai menerangi yang keluar gitu. Jadi scenery-nya emang kayak gini. Nah, tadi Tsubasa bilang kalau teman-teman ke Jepang dan ke tempat-tempat yang masih tradisional, maka teman-teman masih bisa lihat nih yang kayak gini.
Yes. So, yeah. So this is the photo from Naruto. Maybe it must be so famous in Indonesia, according to the data. As you can see, the old photos and the main elements introduced earlier in the house are incorporated in this anime. So I want you to follow, do like the, when you check the Naruto anime, please see this kind of the detail of like the Japanese housing, as I yeah.
Oke, jadi ini rumah-rumah yang ada di Naruto ya guys. Kalian masih tahu nih Uchiha Hyuga, rumahnya Uzumaki ya, yang di Boruto gitu. Jadi menurut Tsubasa tadi yang udah diterangin Tsubasa di depan tadi, fitur-fiturnya sebenarnya kita bisa nemuin nih di sini gitu. Jadi tadi ada Enggawa, ada macam-macam itu tadi lah. Nah, jadi teman-teman kalau besok nonton anime nih setelah ikut webinar ini, jadi mungkin teman-teman akan bisa lihat yang lebih detail lagi nih. Kalau ada rumah atau bangunan, oh nih kemarin yang dikasih tahu sama Tsubasa nih, elemen rumah Jepang yang kayak gini gitu.
Okay, next. The next, let's take a look at the Japanese national anime. So I'd like to take a look not only as the architecture elements, but also like the floor plan. So from the top, that's Daisan, Dramon, and Shinjan. These have a long history of the, long history in Japan, and are still, have like the TV. You can see on the TV every week in Japan, and each anime is based in one house, each with a different character. What we can say in common is that the story is close to our daily life and the daily lives, and because it is anime, and so it's can attract people.
Jadi menurut Tsubasa jadi 3 anime ini adalah anime nasionalnya Jepang, itu bisa dibilang. Jadi karena sebenarnya dari rumahnya, dari gaya hidupnya, dari macam-macam itu sangat dekat dan sangat ya serupa banget dengan memang kehidupan yang ada di Jepang. Jadi kalau teman-teman nonton 3 anime ini sebenarnya di luar dari kemampuannya Doraemon yang bisa macam-macam itu ya. Maksudnya dari segi kehidupan sehari-harinya itu sangat dekat dengan benar-benar kehidupannya orang-orang di Jepang.
And before we talk about the floor plan, each anime, I think that I should talk about LDK. So you may don't know. So LDK is abbreviation frequently used in the words of Japanese real estate to describe apartments. It stands for the living, dining, and kitchen, and it is preceded by the number of the rooms. So, for example, If you only have the one room apartment with kitchen, you can say 1K. And well, if you have the one room apartment with dining and kitchen area, you can say 1DK. And if you have, well, if you live in the one room apartment with living room, dining room, and kitchen area, you can say 1LDK. So if you have 2 rooms, you can change the numbers. So besides this, I think that you can combine the numbers and the LDK according to your house size.
Oke. Oh, jadi di Jepang itu kalau mereka ngomongin apartemen gitu ya, teman-teman, sekarang mereka pakainya ada LDK ini tadi, LDK ya. Jadi L living, dining, dan kitchen. Jadi kalau misalnya tadi 2 LDK, 2 LDK berarti ada 2 ruang plus living, dining, kitchen gitu. Jadi kalau ada 3 berarti ada 3 ruang plus living, dining, kitchen. Dan ini bisa dikombin dan ini kayak very common gitu, sangat biasa. Orang-orang di Jepang kalau udah ngomongin properti yang kayak gini, mereka akan menggunakan istilah ini. Gitu. Ini mungkin kita nggak sering dengar ya di Indonesia.
Yes. So now I want to focus on each anime's house. So this is Sazae-san's house. The family consists of the 7 people. The name is Namihei, Fune, Sazae, Masuo, Wakame, and Talao, and Tama. Yeah, sorry, maybe I might mistake, but please forgive me. But Sazae-san house is 5DK if we follow the definition of the LDK, as I say. So, and also the structure is the wooden structures. So observing the floor plan, most of them are Japanese style room. So the bathroom and toilet are far away from the room of the wakame and yeah. Yes. Thank you. Wakame and Katsuo's house. And perhaps there were many such structures in this era. And if you look closer, the Sazae's room is a room that is separated from others across the corridor. You can see on the that place. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and also there is the grandma's room and Sazae's room facing the south. Which means like, they can have like the sunshine in the daytime. So it seems that the sunny rooms are used by high-ranking people in the house. And the porch in Gawa also face the south. So it has very comfortable design during the day and the daytime. This is about the Sazae-san's house.
Oke, jadi sedikit ya teman-teman. Jadi Sazae-san House ini tadi masih menggunakan style-style rumah Jepang yang lama gitu. Walaupun kalau dibandingin yang lama banget ya nggak juga. Tapi ini masih sangat tradisional. Karena kalau kita lihat tadi memang tahunnya adalah post-war ya. Nah tadi Sazae-san House ini, jadi Sazae-san family itu ada 7 orang ya. Tadi disebutin namanya, aku juga lupa namanya. Tapi ada 7 orang. Dan rumahnya ini adalah kalau ngikutin yang LDK tadi itu 5 ya, 5DK, 5 ruang tambah dining dan kitchen. Dan strukturnya adalah pakai struktur kayu. Dan kalau teman-teman lihat tadi ditunjukin karena lama jadi bisa kita lihat nih toilet yang ada klosetnya sama kamar mandi itu terpisah ya, nggak kayak kita ya kalau satu kamar mandi kan pasti ada toilet, ada bathtub, ada macam-macam lah kayak gitu. Tapi kalau ini dipisah jauh gitu. Dan ini letaknya malah agak di luar. Terus kemudian ini ada koridornya yang tadi kita sebut Enggawa itu menghadap ke selatan. Dan juga ruangannya Sazae-san dan juga ruangannya neneknya si nenek itu juga menghadapnya ke taman yang ke arah selatan. Jadi udaranya lebih baik, penyinarannya lebih baik gitu-gitu. Jadi terbuka kayak gitu. Oke. Is it next?
Yes, please. This is the axon. So one of the characteristic of the Japanese house is that they have a long corridor and also the room arranged along the corridor. Yeah, this is, you know, also the
the corridor is one, this.
Yes.
Oke. Jadi salah satu style, salah satu kekhususannya rumah Jepang itu adalah pasti punya koridor yang panjang, dan koridor ini menghubungkan ruang-ruang gitu. Jadi ya dengan koridor ini itu memang untuk sirkulasi, terus menghubungkan ke ruang-ruang yang lainnya kayak gitu. Nah, ya, jadi yang di sini nih ini ya. Jadi dari pintu masuk, terus ini ada koridor. Nah, ini masuk ke sana, ini ada ruang kayak gitu. Is it next?
Yeah, please. This is the Shinchan's house, where, of course, where Shinchan lives. So it consists of the two-story wooden structure and one parking space. The family is consisted of the Hiroshi, Misae, Shinosuke, Himawari, and one dog, a dog. They live together. The floor plan on the first floor is the 2DK. First of all, there is the corridor. As soon as you enter the south-facing entrance, next to the parking space, on the lower right of the floor plan on the left. Yeah, that one. You can see the stairs leading to the second floor on your right. I've seen anime when I was a kid, but I was a little bit surprised that I wasn't, realized there's, connection to the second floor. So, but anyway. So if you enter the entrance and go stairs straight down the corridor, you will find the water around the washroom, bathroom, and the toilet. That's kind of space. It's also floor line to the wash your hands immediately after returning. But I have never ever seen the Shinchan's washing his hand very often. But anyway, so there's dining room and the kitchen next to the washroom, and the Japanese room behind it. It is used as like the bedroom where the whole family, like the Nohara's family, sleep in the shape of the river. This is very traditional. You can see in the Japanese kanji, the rivers, we like rivers like this, only the line, 3 line. So we lastly like we say like the river. So and the Japanese style living room, that is one is the dining room. I think this room is one of the most familiar with anime. Maybe if you watch the Shinchan, maybe you will see so many times in the anime. Sorry, there's also TV in the corner of the room. You can see, yeah, that one. Centered on the rectangular table and the cabinet near the wall. From this Japanese style living room, you can see the you can see the outside and the garden for the dog name is Shiro. So even from the perspective of the kitchen for the mother, the facility around the water and the kitchen are all in one place, and the laundry area is also in the garden on the first floor. So it can be said that the floor plan is easy to do the housework for the mother.
Oke. Interesting ya. Jadi ini rumahnya Shinchan ya guys, sekali lagi. Jadi rumahnya ini ada 2 tingkat. Kalau teman-teman lihat dari masuk sini, itu kalau lurus ini udah langsung ke tadi tempat cuci tangan ya. Tapi Tsubasa merasa Shinchan jarang cuci tangan nih kalau dia lihat dari animenya. Nah, terus di sini ada tangga untuk naik ke lantai 2. Terus dari area yang basah-basah ini tadi, di sini ada area untuk ruang makan dan juga dapur. Ini jadi satu, tadi D sama K ya. Nah, terus di areanya ini juga ada area yang tadi ya, seperti untuk ruang keluarga, terus ada TV di pojoknya. Terus ini bisa dibuka ya, tadi kayak enggawa ya. This is enggawa, right? Kind of.
Yes.
Nah, yang menghadap ke selatan, south is it?
Yes.
Maybe ya. Jadi ini
facing the
bisa
south.
facing the south. Oke. Jadi lihat ke selatan guys. Nah, jadi kayak gini nih. Nah, terus tadi ya Tsubasa bilang ini memudahkan juga nih untuk si ibunya nih yang ngurusin rumah gitu. Jadi semua dalam satu area, satu fasilitas dan kelihatan semua gitu. Jadi kayak misalnya ini di dapur, terus nanti dia bisa keluar. Ini tempat jemuran ya, tadi laundry ya. Untuk jemuran kayak gitu di sini. Nah, jadi ini sebenarnya konsepnya rumah yang masih Jepang banget walaupun udah agak modern. Next.
Yes. This is the Dramon's house. So it's they changed the floor plan since 2005 maybe, if I'm correct. But I want to just want to see the latest one. Their house is a two-story house with it's 3DK, and also it is actually a rented house. So the kitchen, the place to eat, the dressing room, and the place to do the laundry put together. So you can see that there's the like activity line that make it easy to do the housework. Also, the place to hang the laundries seems to be just as the grandma's room.
Is it here?
And then having to go over one room is the same in the maybe it's very similar to the Sazae-san's house. After that, the room became a room for the dad and mom, because the center of the room, that one changed from the grandma's room to the parents' room.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
so it is expected that the perfect live activity line would be secured for doing household chores.
Oke. Jadi ini sebenarnya ada hal-hal yang masih mirip dengan Sazae-san House ya teman-teman. Jadi kalau teman-teman lihat ini memang masuk, habis itu ini area yang untuk laundry, mandi, toilet dan sebagainya. Terus nanti ini juga memudahkan tadi untuk pekerjaan-pekerjaan rumah tangga. Jadi nanti dari sini laundry, terus ini tinggal tembus ke sana ya. Jadi ini area laundry, right? The outside laundry area can pass through here. Ya. Dan yang di belakang juga ada dining. Nah tadi Tsubasa sempat menyampaikan bahwa sebenarnya denahnya agak berubah ya dari tahun 2004 ke 2005. Nah ini yang dipakai yang 2005. Oke, is it?
Yes, next please. But I talked too much, so I need to speak quickly. Yes, okay. So these three houses have the same entrance, separated toilet and bars and porch and LDK system. So these kind of things are introduced in the not only the anime but also like the real life. So I just want to ask you which house do you want to live in? Which house do you want to choose and select? But I don't know. It's up to you.
Oke, jadi dari ketiganya ini tadi Tsubasa udah jelasin nih. Nah, Tsubasa pengen tahu nih, teman-teman kalau bisa milih nih mau tinggal yang di rumahnya siapa nih, Sazae-san atau Doraemon atau Shinchan, nah kayak gitu. Tapi tadi udah sebenarnya itu mirip-mirip ya konsep-konsepnya. Tapi yang kita lihat di anime ini, denah-denah rumahnya sebenarnya memang sesuai dengan apa yang ada di rumah Jepang, rumahnya orang Jepang, bahkan yang saat ini kayak gitu.
Yeah, go ahead. So I've talked about the animes, the Shinchan, Sazae-san, Dramon's house, right? So I just want to compare the real life and anime. So you can see the the commodities I just mentioned in the other anime. In other words, this is recognized as major features of Japanese housing and has taken root as one of the Japanese housing cultures. This one is about talking about the entrance.
Ya, ini teman-teman ya, yang sangat khas banget dari rumah-rumah Jepang bahkan sampai saat ini adalah tadi entrance hall atau yang disebut dengan Genkan gitu. Ini dari Naruto. Naruto aja rumahnya ada kayak gini ya. Sorry, ini rumahnya Uchiha. Oke. Jadi di real life juga kalau kita compare mereka juga punya gitu.
And then the next is the bathroom. And let's go to the next. Yeah.
Okay.
Next,
jadi bathroom also same. Okay.
Yeah, and in Gawad and the family room, the kind of things, I introduced in the previous slide, and the anime has, the kind of, the features from the Japanese traditional housing.
Ya, jadi ini bisa kita lihat ya teman-teman. Kita bandingin dengan aslinya, memang di anime ya emang kayak gitu kehidupan rumah Jepang gitu.
This is about family room.
Jadi ini juga ruang keluarganya tadi ya, yang ada TV-nya di pojokan, ada seperti lemarinya gitu. Nah ini keluarganya di Doraemon gitu. Ini SSI-san. Nah mungkin, I think the Naruto is already a big change ya.
Yeah, very big.
Naruto is no longer having this kind of style.
True. So so I just want to move on to the next. So from here on, I'd like to talk a little bit about the modern houses in Japan. We'll go to the next. Oh, too much. Go back one slide. Yeah, that one. This is from the anime, which is Naruto. So the Uchiha's house, one of the character, which is the front view of the fairly mainstream apartment in modern Japanese architectures. There is a corridor in the middle, as you can see, which has room and living functions. And if you go to the go to the back, you will find the living room and dining room. In this, the one in the CBA is the living room and dining. Yeah.
CBA.
Right. Yeah. The number one. Yeah, is the living and dining. So the apartment I used to live with my family, and the house I used to live alone, quite similar to this plan. So which means like there is a center corridor, and along it there is a room. So the concept, and also the concept of LDK is also used for the apartment in Japan.
Jadi ini ya teman-teman, contohnya dari malah rumahnya Uchiha ya. Jadi rumah di Jepang itu, ini kalau menurut Tsubasa Jepang banget. Jadi kalau di Jepang itu teman-teman masuk terus ada koridor yang panjang. Nah sepanjang koridor ini nanti akan hubungin ke ruang-ruang nih tadi. Jadi ada ruang-ruang. Nah kalau ke belakang ini nanti ke area yang living dining tadi ya. Jadi kalau dilihat ini yang foto A, foto B, foto C ini ya. Jadi di area ini. Nah terus menurut Tsubasa juga rumah yang dia tinggalin dengan keluarganya dan dia tinggal sebelumnya yang ada di Jepang juga, itu juga kayak gini. Dan konsep dengan LDK-nya ini emang kita bisa lihat banget nih yang di sini ini. Jadi I think this is 2 rooms ya.
Yes.
2 LDK.
I think the number, sorry,
6 Sarada's bedroom, 5 is master
8 is office, so I don't know how to count the office. ADK or 2 ADK.
I see. Okay.
So let's talk about the modern anime. So the recently in Japan, lots of animation, animation and that kind of productions by drawn by the animation, the production which is so beautiful. Drawing is so popular in the movie. So let's go to the next. Sorry. Yeah, this is the former slider is also the Mirai no Mirai, you may know. This is the designing houses by famous architect in Japan. The name is the Makoto Tanichi. He designed this house only for the movie. It's not real life. It's only for the movie. But it's the kind of pastime to be drawn by the famous architect for the movie. Yeah.
Jadi guys, kalau teman-teman tahu yang namanya Mirai no Mirai, right? Jadi di movie ini itu spesial banget karena rumahnya itu didesain oleh seorang arsitek yang terkenal di Jepang, namanya Makoto Tanichi, yang fotonya itu. Jadi memang desainnya dia ini memang cuma dipakai ya untuk anime ini gitu. Jadi si arsitek mendesain rumah ini buat ditampilin di anime ini. Jadi ini spesial banget sih gitu. Kalau teman-teman belum nonton mungkin bisa dicoba ya buat nonton.
Yes, the next please. So therefore, this, the phase 3 reflect the modern Japanese housing concept, etc. And will be very useful kind of references for the architecture design for us, because we can get that kind of floor plan section and elevation, even though it's in the anime. But it's super useful for like the our knowledge and understanding of the architecture plan and Japanese modern house.
Jadi menurut Tsubasa unik ya, spesial juga karena bahkan dari anime kita juga bisa melihat nih referensi dari anime ini, karena memang ada denahnya, ada potongannya, ada desainnya juga kelihatan karena difilmkan kan kayak gitu. Bahkan dari anime bisa digunakan untuk referensi, dan ini stylenya adalah sudah Japanese modern house gitu.
Yes, thank you. This is about Kimi no Nawa. In English, name is your name. The traditional Japanese cultures of like this sliding doors, tatami mat, and the futon is beautifully detached in this the scene. So this also represent the Japanese culture and the Japanese traditional housing.
Oke, ini jadi mesti pada tahu ya anime Kimi no Nawa atau bahasa Inggrisnya Your Name. Mungkin kalau punya Netflix, kalau yang belum nonton bisa cek di Netflix. Nah ini jadi di sini kita juga bisa lihat ya ada pintu gesernya ini tadi shoji. Terus ada tatami mat-nya, ada futongnya. Jadi ini merepresentasikan banget nih rumah Jepang yang masih berbau-bau tradisional dan digambarkan di anime dengan sangat cantik kayak gitu.
And this is the floor plan and some scene of the movie. So if you haven't seen if you haven't watched the movie, maybe you can watch the movie on the YouTube, sorry, it's illegal. The Netflix, as Desta said. So please check it out if you're interested in.
So this one is actually a bit traditional, yeah. Like there are two buildings in one.
Oh yeah, this is, we call it Hanare in the top one. Top building. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, kind of second house.
Jadi ini masih modelnya agak tradisional ya teman-teman. Jadi ada second house yang tadi namanya adalah Hanare. Gitu. Jadi ini rumah utama, ini second house-nya.
Yes. And then this is Tenki no Kon. This is also the beautiful drawing expressing the Japanese city and the building and also the cityscape, right? So now, as I say, please check it out on the the movie, because if I talk too much, maybe it's gonna be a little bit bad things. I don't know. but I just want to stop here because and then this is also some scene of the movie, and then you can see that the Japanese building through the the movie, not visiting Japan. So please check it out.
So this is very, I mean, this is like the real one, yeah. This is in
This is based on the real world, real city in Japan. So it's super correct.
Super correct. Okay. So this is the Shibuya crossing, maybe.
Yeah, crossing and the bridge.
The Kokon Tower.
Yeah, in Shinjuku. Yeah. I think this kind of the scene is super correct. So if you're interested in not only like the architecture but also the cityscape and the city, you can check.
Jadi teman-teman yang interested juga ya, tertarik juga nggak cuma ke rumahnya dan atau yang tradisional, mungkin yang nggak cuma rumah gitu ya, yang cityscape-nya, yang kotanya kayak apa di Tokyo itu teman-teman juga bisa lihat nih di anime Tenkinoko atau Weathering with You, nggak tahu di artinya jadi beda. Di sini memang menggambarkan suasana kota Jepang banget, di Tokyo banget gitu. And I think Tsubasa, this is also quite interesting for me, the image, because Japan is very famous for the disabled facilities, and they really draw it. I mean, this yellow pattern in the floor.
Oh yeah, universal design.
Yeah, universal design. Yeah, I think so. I think this anime is very detailed. Very nice.
So, but today's main topic is not like that kind of thing. So I shouldn't touch too much. So, and also I already talked too much. So the time is getting already 9. So I think I need to summarize. So before we talk about, we move on to the conclusion. I just want to say something about the kind of anime. It's based on my personal opinion. The Sazai-san house is said to be in the kind of Sazai-san house. Sazai-san family or the Sazai-san is a little bit rich family because their like the housing price is so expensive. But of course it's in anime, so they afford to buy. But also the Nobita's house also super expensive.
Oh wait, maybe I will explain in
bahasa. Okay, I think that you should talk.
Yeah, I think okay. Jadi Sazai-san yang tadi kita lihat itu ya teman-teman, memang rumahnya besar banget. Ini lokasinya in Setagayaku, Sakura Shinmachi. Jadi kalau teman-teman lihat di map ya, ini di titik merah dan ini masih di dekat Shibuya gitu. Jadi ini kayak di center of the city itself in Tokyo, right? Jadi kalau menurut menurut data yang didapat gitu ya, itu harganya sekitar 33,2 miliar. Jadi atau 269,1 miliar yen. Ya, 33,2 miliar rupiah. Jadi bisa kita bilang Sazai-san nih kaya banget gitu ya, tajir gila gitu. Oke. Nah, ini Nobita House.
Yeah, I think what I want to say is the same as Sazai-san. So I think that you should please explain a little bit about the house in Indonesia.
Ya, jadi sama ya. Oh, but I want to ask ya, because this is written as rent. So means that actually you mentioned also, I think ya, the Nobita's family is actually renting the house.
Yeah, renting. No,
renting. It's not owned by them.
Yeah.
Okay. Jadi teman-teman ternyata Nobita dan keluarga ini ngekos, guys. Ngekos.
They paid
ya.
$440,000.
Okay.
A month.
140,000 yen.
40 yen. Yeah.
Jadi kira-kira harganya rental ngekosnya sebulan 17,3 17.300.000 ya. 17.300.000 per bulan, guys, untuk rumahnya Nobita. Kalau dihitung dengan biaya yang sekarang di lokasi di Susukigahara, Mirimaku, Tokyo. Nah, jadi tetap kaya ya, jadi gajinya rentalnya segini gitu. So is it the conclusion like they are super rich family?
Yeah, something like that.
I see.
But I think that I should pass to the the slide to speak. So please, yeah.
Okay, ini menarik banget ya. It's so interesting that we talk not only from the traditional one, but we also talk about the modern one and even the anime. Of course, we are taking a bit longer time, but I think for me it's very interesting because it was around 75, 77, but now we still have 74. Means that this is interesting and we already get some questions.
But yeah, I want to sincerely apologize. I talk too much, so
I don't think, but it's very interesting. So thank you so much for sharing the information. I think we also get some some questions, and please guys, jadi kalau teman-teman yang punya pertanyaan, do have some questions, kasih tahu aja tuh bisa di chat ya, atau nanti kalau misalnya mau nanya sendiri langsung ke Tsubasa-san juga boleh, tinggal kasih tahu aja, nanti bisa waktu aku panggil nanti kalian tinggal unmute aja terus langsung nanyain ya. Tolong dalam bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia juga boleh, nanti aku bantuin translate gitu. Jadi sebelum kita masuk ke pertanyaan, question and answer, jadi dari yang kita pelajarin tadi ya, kita dengerin dari Tsubasa-san, apa sih elemen-elemen yang mungkin bisa kita aplikasikan di Indonesia gitu. Nah ini diskusi aku dengan Tsubasa-san sebelumnya ya, jadi mungkin elemen apa yang ada di rumah tradisional Jepang. Nah kita berpikir ada dua elemen nih teman-teman. Jadi yang pertama adalah Genkan, di mana tadi entrance hall, yang lepas sepatu dan lain sebagainya gitu ya. Dan ini ada perbedaan ketinggian ya. Di sini mungkin di Indonesia ataupun di Singapura ya menurut Tsubasa-san juga nggak ada nih yang kayak gini. Jadi ini kayaknya Jepang banget deh gitu. Dan adanya Genkan ini sebenarnya misalnya kita sekarang lagi pandemik COVID-19 gitu kan. Kalau teman-teman dari luar itu kan kita nggak tahu tuh kan virus, bakteri dan lain sebagainya. Kalau teman-teman kayak ya udah langsung masuk rumah, masuk pakai sepatu dan lain sebagainya, ini kan kita nggak tahu nih kita bawa virus apa atau bakteri apa. Nah di Jepang mereka ada kebiasaan sepatu yang di dalam rumah dan di luar rumah ini beda. Jadi sampai di Genkan ya sepatu yang luar ditaruh luar dulu. Dan nanti waktu masuk ke dalam kalian bisa lihat nih mereka akan ganti dengan sepatu yang sendal gitu ya, sendal yang dalam rumah kayak gitu. Dan ini jadi kebiasaan nggak cuma di rumah tapi juga di sekolah gitu. Nah kemudian yang kedua yang mungkin kita bisa terapkan kali ya, yang sederhana adalah circulation strategy. Jadi gimana mengalirkan udara, banyak bukaan, terus menggunakan material-material alami yang cahayanya bisa masuk dan lain sebagainya, udaranya masih bisa masuk, dan juga tadi teknik-teknik perkayuannya orang Jepang yang cukup terkenal, the carpentry advanced techniques ya for the timber and wood joints. Jadi mungkin cukup interesting. Nah, mungkin kalau teman-teman ada ide lain, if you have any other ideas, so you have learned, Anda telah mendengar ya tadi dari keterangannya Tsubasa-san, di Jepang ada ini. Nah, if you have any ideas that maybe can be connected with the Indonesian's house one, or that should be applied in Indonesia, itu harusnya juga ada nih kita terapin di rumah kita di Indonesia gitu. Nah, boleh nih juga nyampein sesuatu nih gitu nanti di sesi tanya jawab ya. Okay, Tsubasa-san, before we going to the question and answer, maybe you want to say something as a closing. Not close the event, just close your material.
Okay. At first, as I say, I talk too much, so it's a little bit boring, and I don't know what you feel, but I want to say a little bit sorry. But I hope you could find some tips and knowledge through this webinar under this presentation. And also there is in Japan we have so many famous architects, not only the the building, so famous architect, so we can if you watch that kind the architect, maybe you can get something new, and you can utilize that kind of knowledge to the design. And if you do the the architecture design or open design, so I hope you just not stay research the anime, but also the the real world, like the architect and some project in Japan. So, and then if you can learn something from the the Japanese house, I think you can contribute to the sustainable design and sustainable architectures, because Japanese traditional housing is focusing on not using the cutting edge technologies. We just wanted to use like the natural ventilation or something, the natural resource as much as we can. So it's kind of the sustainability. So I hope that this webinar is gonna be the part of the sustainable future. This is what I'm thinking when I was making this kind of slide. So that's it. So thank you very much for listening a long time. And terima kasih and arigatou gozaimashita. That's it.
Sama-sama. Okay.
And also thank you for staying until the that night. Yeah, if you have some question, please raise some question on the chat. If so, it's gonna be so happy for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tsubasa. Actually, everybody is very interested on your materials today. Okay, so tadi Tsubasa sempat menyampaikan ya ke waktu dia bikin slide ini, sebenarnya dia juga berpikir bahwa teman-teman selain cek anime itu mungkin juga teman-teman bisa cek arsitektur di Jepang juga, terutama juga yang tradisional, karena tradisional Jepang itu tidak menggunakan cutting edge teknologi. Jadi kebanyakan kan benar-benar memanfaatkan alam gitu kan. Nah, jadi mungkin ini juga bisa mendukung gerakan-gerakan sustainability yang untuk tentu saja menyelamatkan bumi kita gitu ya, gerakan-gerakan yang berkelanjutan gitu. Nah, okay, I think we should open again, I just to remind you, minggu depan kita akan ada event yang lain bersama seorang arsitek muda juga, namanya Mbak Fani Atmanti. Jadi teman-teman jangan lupa buat register juga ya, buat minggu depan di jam yang sama, jam 6:30. Per saat ini tuh registerannya udah banyak banget teman-teman. Jadi besok juga kalau misalnya teman-teman udah register, tolong tetap masuknya lebih awal supaya teman-teman bisa masuk Zoom. Kalau enggak sih teman-teman tetap bisa lihat, tapi melalui YouTube-nya Extalia Hobbies gitu. Okay, I think now let's discuss a bit ya, because I got quite a lot of a question, Tsubasa-san.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it's all in Indonesia. I will translate lah.
Yeah, but I think that we shouldn't talk too much, right? It's already
In Indonesia, I think now is 8:15.
9:15. So.
No. In Indonesia, 8:15.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think still bit okay lah, right?
But
so okay, I think I will call Sujira Widodo. You want to unmute and say yourself?
Hello. Tsubasa-san.
Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for listening.
Mbak Desta.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for letting me in. So my name is Widodo. You can call me Widodo.
Okay.
It's quite interesting. It's very interesting presentation tonight. So I'm follow it from the start. Tsubasa-san, according to the traditional floor plans that you presented us before, it looks like they make a lot of chambers. They split it with wall or partition. For example, like in Sazai-san's house. I don't know why. Maybe it is probably represent that they put a lot of attention in their privacy, or maybe another reason. But in the other hand, we can see that trend nowadays, people are using a lot of merging room, like open plan concept, for example, so that the room can feel larger due to the limited spaces and limited site as well. So my question is there any principle or something essential that they keep or they preserve until now? I mean, like something that doesn't change from the old or traditional architecture to the current houses, to the recent houses design, something like that. Is there any something or principle or essential thing, something like that? I hope you got what I mean.
Yeah, I could understand what you mean and what is your question. Actually, as I little bit say in the presentation, in the past, the Japanese traditional house didn't have any privacy because they didn't care, and so which means the house size, the one room should be big, like, because and then we can use like the partition, this depending on the the family. If you want to have like a private space, you can use partition. But
so it's flexible.
Yeah, but these days the people can get, people changed because of like the the cultures and the technologies. People strongly want to protect own privacies as much as possible.
Yeah.
In the entire day, whole day. So it's not temporary. People want to protect their privacy permanently. So that's why the wall should be stuck on the the wall, and they need to separate the room. So I think the way of the privacy are completely changed compared to the past. So this is what I felt when I saw the the Satsai-san's house, because they can in this action you can see you can connect all room like through the doors, but in the modern house I think that it's not so easy to connect the each room through the doors. So which means I thought that the privacy should be protected as much as possible. This is what I saw. So did I answer your question, or you still have?
I think that's enough. I think that is enough. Yeah, I get what you mean. So it's kind of flexibility in the
flexibility.
Yeah. I get that. Okay, thank you. Maybe that is my question, Mbak Desta. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mas Widodo. Maaf, dari kota mana?
Dari Jogja, Mbak, tetangga.
Oh, Jogja. Oke, ini arsitek juga.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tsubasa-san, he is coming from the same city as mine, and he is also an architect.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Thank you so much ya atas pertanyaannya.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Oke, ada lagi mungkin yang mau tanya langsung. You just can raise your hand. Or actually I got a lot of questions to Tsubasa-san. Okay,
so many.
So many. Okay, I hope we can. I think everybody is so excited. Okay,
I think it's okay to answer because like each of the email, right?
Each of what? Sorry.
Email address.
Yes.
So it's completely fine to reply to the one by one later if we couldn't answer all. Okay,
let me.
So if you have question, please put on the chat.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I want to ask one person, Kyo Halim. I think he has questions. Want to say?
Okay.
Just unmute yourself, Kyo Halim. You want to say something?
Halo.
Halo.
Iya, bisa dengar nggak sih? Jelas nggak sih?
Bisa, jelas Mas. Ya, panggilannya siapa Mas?
Gio aja, Gio.
Gio. Halo, ya.
Sebelumnya saya lagi di Papua. Saya di Papua sekarang di Kota
Okay.
Sorong.
Okay.
Terus saya dari dulu sangat tertarik dengan Jepang dan khususnya anime. Dari kecil sudah saya ngikutin anime, terutama kayak anime fantasi gitu kan, Naruto, One Piece dan lain-lain. Nah, karena saya terlambat, tadi saya dari luar soalnya ada urusan, terus saya terlambat join, jadi saya mungkin agak kurang mengerti. Terutama saya kan kuliahnya arsitek dulu, jadi agak sensitif nih kalau soal arsitektur sama anime. Nah, yang bedanya arsitektur kan ini ada bilangnya anime dan Jepang gitu. Terus ada di bidang arsitektur. Itu yang membedakannya tuh di mana anime dan Jepang? Maksudnya apakah kalau anime itu ada hal-hal yang ditonjolkan beda dengan Jepang? Kalau Jepang kan kita memang di arsitektur memang sudah belajar dia punya konsep, terus dia punya struktur, konstruksi. Nah, yang di animenya itu saya masih belum dapat, mungkin apakah di bagian lain gitu gimana ya. Mohon maaf sebelumnya kalau sudah dijelaskan, soalnya saya terlambat jadi
apa-apa, ya siap. Menarik pertanyaannya. Terima kasih ya Mas Mas Halim. Mas Kyo. Sorry. Okay, Tsubasa-san. So, Kyo, right? Kyo.
Okay.
Kyo is Kyo now is actually staying in the the eastern part of Indonesia. I think I have told you before. There's a big eastern part Indonesia which is very far from my house.
Yeah.
So he's there now. I think it's interesting, and he is
so
the fan of
from Singapore.
super far away. And he is from. He also likes anime. He loves anime since he was a kid, and he's also know a lot about architecture. So what he's asked is about he wants to know about what is the connection between actually the anime and the Japanese, because we mentioned before about anime.
Anime and Japanese.
Yeah, in terms of the architectural things, right? Yeah. Maybe you have something to say.
Wow. Anime and architecture is in Japanese.
I think just a bit lah, maybe from what I thought, yeah. Japanese, because what we actually not all anime, tidak semua anime, not all anime, actually showing the real life of Japanese and its architecture. That's why today we bring some of the anime that is really matched with the, like Sasai-san house, Sasai-san, for example. It's only matched with the Japanese real life. With the family and with the house and how the Japanese family are living. That's why we learn from the anime how the real Japanese family are living, and also how they actually build their house, design their house, their rooms, and how each of the rooms inside the house is working. Jadi gimana kita belajar dari anime, gimana sih keluarga di Jepang sebenarnya tuh hidupannya kayak apa, dan ngaruhnya ke desain rumah mereka tuh kayak apa.
Berarti intinya mungkin kayak di anime dan arsitektur di Jepang ini sebenarnya sama, cuman kayak diperkenalkan lebih dekat lagi dengan anime, apalagi orang yang suka anime, suka dunia arsitektur untuk lebih mengenal arsitektur Jepang gitu ya. Karena saya beberapa anime itu ada arsitektur Indonesia yang dimasukkan dijadikan bangunan di anime Jepang. Kayak di Sumatera itu ada di anime One Piece gitu kan. Nah, apakah iya ada karena saya bukan wibu sih, tapi saya suka nonton anime sampai arsitekturnya itu saya suka perhatikan. Itu ada yang unik. Makanya saya pikir mungkin Tsubasa-san ini lebih tahu soal ciri khas yang biasa dimasukin ke anime daripada di real life Jepangnya gitu.
So Tsubasa-san, he said that he saw something Indonesian architecture style in One Piece. That's why he is actually want to know from you actually what is the special things that we can find in the anime, which is actually very Japanese gitu ya. Okay.
Yeah, but I just want I wanted to ask you because I could understand in Japan, we can know like daily life in Japan, and also like the building in anime and the plant in anime. So we can compare and how much they have reality. But in other country, they don't know so much about the daily life in Japan, right? But what attracts the people to introduce that kind of anime into their own country? For me, for Japanese people, the creator of anime, we want, may need to reach the reality in the daily life. Otherwise, people, it doesn't attract people, because if they're far away from the reality, sometimes it's not so fun for people. So that's why they should have the deep connection between the anime and our daily life. But when I see the other country, the culture and the living style are completely different from the Japanese. But what attracts people to introduce the Japanese anime into the, for example, like the Indonesia?
Kira-kira
Saya rasa cukup sudah mulai paham.
Ya, jadi kedekatan, maksudnya kalau ada di anime, cara mengintroduce gitu ya, memperkenalkan dan membuat orang itu attract gitu, tertarik untuk lihat anime dan mengenal budayanya, mengenal budaya Jepang, hidupannya Jepang gimana, itu ya salah satunya melalui anime ini gitu loh. Jadi ya di situ yang jadi kalau aku ngobrol-ngobrol juga sama Tsubasa, kadang dia juga, menurut dia Sasai Sang ini untuk info aja, menurut dia Sasai Sang ini tuh buat orang Jepang juga sangat kayak makanya tadi disebut nasional anime gitu loh, karena apa-apanya udah deket banget dengan real life mereka gitu, sehingga buat mereka ini kayak kita banget gitu mungkin ya. Kita banget gitu, dan dari situ rumahnya, kehidupannya semua emang kayak orang Jepang. Dan sebagai orang luar, kalau aku sih pribadi lihatnya, aku jadi lebih ngerti nih apa-apa ya, kayak orang Jepang tuh hidupnya kayak apa sih, makannya kayak gimana sih, duduk ada tataminya gitu-gitu tuh malah dari anime gitu kan. Jadi mungkin juga salah satunya orang Jepang memperkenalkan budayanya keluar ya. Gitu.
Mungkin satu lagi, Bu. Satu lagi.
Oke, just a quick one, sorry.
Tapi mungkin agak di luar dari arsitektur, saya mau tanya anime paling favorit dari Tsubasa-san apa ya?
Tsubasa-san, your favorite anime?
Ya mungkin bisa saya list gitu untuk saya nonton. Atau mungkin dari Mbak Desta juga ada gitu.
So he asked for a recommendation, what kind of anime that he should watch, kind of thing.
To me?
Yeah. From you.
Oh, it's so tough question for me.
I think you can say Ghibli, right?
Of course, the Ghibli has so many, but actually their house is not like the traditional Japanese house. The house is combination of the Western traditional housing. So it's not the original Japanese housing. So if you like, the Western housing, maybe you should watch the Ghibli. But if you, really want to introduce like the Japanese traditional housing, I think these three national anime, as I introduced today's web presentation, which is the Dramon, Sasai-san, Shinchan, are the best for me.
Shinchan?
Yeah,
Yes.
But actually the Sasai-san is the much better than other two anime for me, because they reflect the lots of the Japanese features on their plan and section and action. So.
Oke, thank you ya, Mas Kyo. Aku nanti kalau ada pertanyaan lagi, mungkin bisa di email ya, atau approach ke IG juga saya.
Yeah, I will reply to all of the message.
Oh my God, you are so kind. We'll also ask.
Please don't hesitate to put the question. So I will like in English and Indonesian, translated by the Desta. So please put lots of comment on the chat.
Okay. Okay, Tsubasa-san, I think at least maybe 2 questions. Yeah, I will read for you here, and then the other maybe we can, because we already access the time limit. Actually, it's more than 2 hours already.
I sincerely apologize.
No. I think it's not because of you. It's like very interesting. I think actually,
I hope
others, all the participants still want to watch, but yeah, it's maybe it's here in Singapore already 9:30 lah.
9:30.
Okay, so the first question, this is from Yunita Wulandari. Okay, I will read in Indonesia first. Halo Kak, selamat malam. Izin bertanya, maaf sebelumnya out of the box. Jepang dan Indonesia sama-sama sering mengalami bencana gempa. Lalu apa alasan arsitektur Jepang lebih ramah dengan gempa dibandingkan dengan Indonesia? Dan apakah bisa bila sistem arsitektur gempa di Jepang direalisasikan? Okay. Oh, it's a bit tough question, though. So she's asking, like, actually Indonesia and Japan is same in terms of the earthquake. Right? Yeah, I think I have told you before, in Indonesia, also in the Java Island, there's a ring of fire as well.
Yeah.
So we also experienced that kind of earthquake, like in Japan. But everybody in Indonesia knows that Japanese structure systems is like much better. And do you know that what kind of structure, what kind of structure that actually they put so that it's better to handle this kind of situations when the earthquake is happening? Is it like
of course the reinforced concrete must be introduced in the structure, right? Like not like the wooden structures, because in Japan in the 1995 in the Kansai region, we had a so big earthquake, which is the Kansai Hanshin Awaji Daishinsai in Japanese. It's the size of the earthquake is magnitude, I don't know today, but sorry. But it was so huge earthquake, and lots of the most of the building are destroyed by the earthquake, because the most of the building were made by wood, and they didn't have like strong structures in the house. And also there is like so after that the people, to be honest, I don't know this the so detail, but for me I think as after that people realized that the structure, when we design the building, we should care about the structures as the first stage. But for example, in Singapore, you can see lots of buildings with the sky coat or like the tree on the top, or that kind of interesting structures. But actually in Japan, it's impossible because of earthquake, as you know. And then in Singapore, they don't care about the structure so much. I think they always care about the the facade design at first to make to attract people. But in Japan, because of the problem of the structures, I think that you see the for example, like in Tokyo, there is so many like the skyscrapers around the Tokyo station. But most of building, the facade of the most of building are same, right? Because they can't do a lot, the so like interesting design on the facade because of the limitation and the architecture law in Japan. Of course, if you spend a lot of money for the structure to make it more interesting and funny structures, of course it's possible, but you need to pay a lot. So
structure will be expensive.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's so noisy. But I'm not expert of the the structure system, so I can't say like the wrong and incorrect answer. So but yeah,
I think that would be the construct engineer, engineer.
Yeah, I'm not so expert of the
But I think maybe next time if you I mean who's the name? Okay, Yunita Wulandari. If
I try to research the some cases. Yeah.
I think you can also find some video on YouTube how the Japanese are creating a very good structure to handle the earthquake things, even in the very high skyscraper. And they are very advanced, but of course, still there are so many limitations because of the earthquake. So like Tsubasa said that I think it's also similar to Indonesia because we can't do so many things like we can do in Singapore. It's a bit impossible because that would be very, very expensive. Yeah. So I think I will go into the next question. This is not about the building, but the question is from Dedi Indratmada. So he's asking actually about the, he is very, very, he wants to know about why Japanese are very, very, care about their traditional cultures and other things. Even they also show it in the anime and manga. Is it because religion, or it is something that is, ruled or commanded by the tradition or something? Because maybe I just let you know a bit that in Indonesia, maybe a lot of people already feel that, the young millennial or the Gen Z already not care about our tradition and culture. But in Japan, even the foreigner like us, the Indonesian, are very interesting in the Japanese culture. And what about the Japanese people itself? And how can you guys still very,
keep the traditional culture even now?
Yes.
The reason why we protect our culture is I think one of the reasons because of the foreigners, because they always respect the Japanese culture and they always say that the Japanese culture is interesting, right? Which means it's the make the Japanese people realize the Japanese culture is the best, or like one of the best cultures in the world. So because of that, people can proud of our culture, right? Because we can hear a lot of reputation from the foreigners, not only Japanese people. If we talk about the Japanese culture within the Japanese people, maybe you may complain something and why we need to protect the Japanese cultures. But when you talk with the foreigners, they always respect our culture. So and then it make me like proud of our culture. So this is maybe one of the reasons I think I thought.
Okay, so interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for everything today, for Tsubasa-san, also Pak Uut and others participants. Tsubasa-san, this is not question, but I just want to read because it's very interesting from Vincentia Vista. It's so interesting. Thank you for sharing, Extalia, Tsubasa-san, and thank you also for Pak Uut. Also from Suvar Aska, thank you, Extalia Hobbies and Tsubasa-san. Interesting topic and already fell in love with the wholesome content. Got to watch more anime, I guess. Amazing.
I hope lots of people watch the
anime.
And the manga.
Another from Abdul Hamid Hakim. Don't want to ask anything, but just want to say if the house from Mirai no Mirai anime is amazing and still make me speechless until now. That house gives me many inspiration for my study. I think
it's good.
Amazing, right? Okay, guys, I think we already exceed like 30 minutes. It should be end 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But we are so sorry, but also thank you so much for your participation and
Patient.
Passion for anime, Japanese architecture, and Japanese culture. And we will share the material. Is it okay?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
We will share the material.
And also please introduce the sustainability stuff on the other. Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's gonna be, it has a lot of architect in the, but it's not necessary to show now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
please, research my name on the YouTube. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You can find a video a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked about sustainability with Testa. So I hope it's gonna be interesting and useful for something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Jadi Tsubasa Sang ini beberapa waktu yang lalu juga sempat webinar ya tentang sustainability. Jadi teman-teman langsung ke YouTube aja, ketik Tsubasa Nakanishi. Nah, nanti kalian ketemu nih videonya. Kalau kalian ada waktu juga tolong ditonton karena isinya juga sangat menarik tentang Japanese architecture dan juga sustainability. Nah, teman-teman mohon maaf banget sekali lagi because there are a lot of questions but we cannot answer it now one by one. So please email to the extalia.hobbies@yahoo.com ya, please, or you can ask Tsubasa Sang directly on the Instagram, but please do not push him lah. So he will maybe answer whenever he has time. So do not push ya, please. This is his privacy. So I hope you also can understand. But thank you so much Tsubasa for today. Also maybe later we will upload some of the question here that we cannot answer now. Maybe we will upload also in the Extalia Hobbies website with the answer from Tsubasa maybe if he has time. So you can find, right? You can find your question and the answer from Tsubasa.
So everyone will send the question to your email, right? The extaliahobbies@yahoo.com.
Yeah, if they have.
Okay.
It's up to them. It's up to them. But those who already send the questions here, I already screenshot. So
thanks.
We will check and we try the best to answer them.
Let's discuss later and answer all of the questions.
Oh my God! Thank you. You are so kind. I think please also share.
Yeah, it's so I really appreciate to putting the comment on the chat, even though today's weekend.
I think they cannot go out. So, but thank you so much again for all the participants, and again don't forget to register for the next week webinar. She is Indonesian, she is not Japanese, but she works in very big world-renowned firm, architect firm, so Fujimoto Architects in Japan, and she also was worked as an intern in Kengokuma and Associates. Kengokuma was the one who designed the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo. So I think if you get interested, please register. And I'm so sorry because I checked just now that the registrants already exceeds the capacity. So please, at the D-Day, please come in early. Otherwise, you maybe still can watch through the YouTube. So you just simply find Extalia Hobbies in the YouTube channel, and we will do the live streaming as well. So again, thank you Tsubasa. Also thank you Pak Uut who also stay in this room until this time.
Thank you Tsubasa-san. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and good luck for everybody and happy weekend. Ariga, thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, we don't take a photo session?
Photo. Okay. Thank you guys. It's okay. Yeah, I got to already.
Okay.
Terima kasih Pak Uut. Mungkin ada mau sesuatu menyampaikan ke Tsubasa, Pak, masih mute. Tsubasa Sang, Pak Uut, maybe.
Terima kasih.
Oh, okay. No, nothing.
Success for you, for your career.
Oh no, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, amazing. Terima kasih, selamat malam.
Terima kasih.